So this is our ELD Level 1 course, which is really an introduction to the English language. And what we focus on here within these materials are to grow and improve English language skills. Now, in that curriculum folder, you're going to notice units 1 through 12. In each of those units, pretty much each of those are a week or a theme of topics that are going to be covered within a set of learning modules. Okay, so if you look at this, unit 1 is going to be all about the welcoming, the pre-assessment. Unit 2 is about introducing yourself. Unit 3 is about expressing emotions. Unit 4 is nouns, 5 adjectives, 6 verbs, 7 review, 8 talk about a scene, 9 tell the story, 10 summarizing, and then 11 and 12 are review. So if you actually look at this is actually, so the lessons are put together in a sequential way that builds off the former lesson. I want to talk a little bit about lesson design. We want to make sure that there is fluidity with the lesson development. So as far as lesson, each of these modules are going to always follow the same exact lesson template. You're going to have a title slide. That introduces what that title or what the topic of the learning is going to be. There's going to be a session goal or learning objective, right? We believe that learning, there should be no surprises, right? So whether it's you or the students, they should know what they're going to be learning about in that session or sessions that they'll be attending. There's always going to be that slide that I just mentioned where it's going to talk about how to access the materials. And then that's always going to be followed by the learning agenda. The learning agenda is different from the goal. The agenda is just, what is the breakdown today? We're going to do a warm-up, we're going to do a fire write, we're going to do some sight word practice, we're going to learn about X, Y, and Z, and then we're going to end with this Jamboard activity, or we're going to end with this writing activity. So it's a quick breakdown of everything that's going to be happening within that session. In addition to that, every single lesson is going to start with a fire write and a sight word practice activity. So whether the lesson's on nouns, whether it's on talking about a scene, whether it's on summarizing, we always want to start off with a fire write and sight word practice. That's just to, again, that's part of the whole, let's get students writing, let's get students talking, let's get students expanding the vocabulary. And then from there, the actual content comes. And then so our structure is front load the content. So that's the I in teaching, right? I'm going to talk to you about what is a noun. I'm going to give you the definition. I'm going to give you some examples. And then we're going to go through some new content practice, which is, okay, we'll do a quizzes, or let's do a quick check for understanding, turn to a partner and talk to them about this. Or let's, here's some questions. I want you to answer these questions in your student workbook. So that's that practice and check for understanding. And then it's always going to end with a reflection piece, the students reflecting on their learning. We've included a pre and post assessment and report cards templates for you all to utilize if this is something that you want to do. The pre and post assessment are the exact same assessments to be given, one again right in the beginning of the course, and then one at the very end after all the modules and units have been gone over. And then all this is integrated into your slide decks as well. So it's not just, hey, here's the pre-assessment. We have a slide deck for week 1 and a slide deck for week 12 that actually have screenshots of every single question for the pre-assessment and post-assessment integrated into the slide deck. So if you want to run through it with your students and you want to go through each question one by one, again, this is really dependent on your student demographic, then that's definitely an option that you can do and to help them feel successful. So the tell a story is really one of the more culminating activities that they're going to be doing. It's, again, piecing together, can they describe a scene? Can they, can they order things? Can they combine nouns and verbs and adjectives together in complete sentences? So ultimately, we want them to be able to put that into a bigger activity, which is, in this case, telling a story. And so for this, 3 things are focused on here. 1, events are important things that happen in a story. 2, we talk about things in order. 3, often there are transition words that we learn that we use to help us, to tell about those events in a particular story. And in this lesson, we have a video here called the Cloudy Lesson. We're not going to look at that today, but really it's to get them to think about organization, right? Organization of their thoughts. And so with this, we have activities of integrating and utilizing transitional words. So these are where you would differentiate depending on your students and their comfort levels and their mastery of the English language of how much you want them to utilize and use within the framework of, or within the content that you're teaching them. So for today, I'm saying let's use at least 3 of these transitional words.
To learn more about our ELD programs and how they can support students in your district, visit our website or contact us via the information below.